Water is really important to get right. Clean water has been debated. You got to get water right. And if you want to make a big move in your health, is get your water right. Start there. Start there. If you don't want to change your diet, start with your water. I'm just going to be straight with you. If you're buying plastic jugs off the shelf, you just bought plastic tea. So you know what happens when you put a tea bag in a glass of water? It doesn't even have to be hot water. It could be cold water over time. You're going to have tea, right? Because water is going to absorb what's in the tea. Well, the same with plastic. So I'm against plastic. Maybe plastic in short amounts of time. You just take it for the day, whatever. I still don't do that, but okay. It's hard to get clean water nowadays. You can't even trust a lot of the companies. So I have two sources that I think are optimal. One is distilled water. Now, this is a hot topic. This is a topic that's highly debated, and I've looked at it for years. Distilled water is just H2O. At least that's our understanding of it right now. It's lifeless. It sure is. It's lifeless. It has no structure to it. It's lifeless. So it's going to pick up things along the way. And as people in the health space, coaches and practitioners, they used to put people on distilled water for a period of time as a cleanse, because the understanding was that it was going to pick up bad things along the way. And yes, it does actually. But they also said that it would also pick up the good things. That's not true. It doesn't do that. So when I found out about that and I believed what I now knew, I'm like, well, wait a minute. So we could just get distilled water and be on a cleanse every day, which we all need anyway. And we could add in necessary things, structure it too. We could do things to it. And that would be the best ever, in my opinion. And so that is the best ever, in my opinion, very closely followed by spring water. But let's just talk about distilled water a little bit more. So distilled water is not going to have the same feel. It's not going to have the same, it doesn't have minerals in it. You're taking out the minerals. But when you distill it, you're taking out the arsenic, you're taking out the lead. I think you're taking out the radiation. So reverse osmosis can't do that. You're taking out fluoride, bleach, chlorine, though that will evaporate in time anyway. So if you have tap water and it's been sitting around, it'll evaporate. But you don't want to drink tap water, trust me. So optimally, a distiller will cost you the cheapest $100, maybe even a little less. I wouldn't, if you can spend more, I would spend a little bit more, and they'll last you for a really long time. And there you have it. And yes, you have to plug it in, and it's not good for emergencies if you don't have an electricity, for sure. I actually have an emergency distiller that will work on a fire, but there is your water. And then you add in your minerals. Fulvic minerals are the best if you get them from a clean source. I have a couple clean sources that I use. And get your magnesium, get your liquid minerals in there. Shake it up, shake up your container. Might structure it a little bit, maybe not. It's debatable. They also have structuring devices, and I just ordered one. It's a wand that you stir. Structuring, that's the fourth phase of water, and that's the water that's found in our bodies. Our body makes it. Our body makes water structured. This was also found in fruits and vegetables, that are raw, especially. So when you buy a structuring device that a lot of have been available for a few years now, they don't work really well. Either they're going to only structure it for a few hours or maybe a few days. So it's not going to stay structured. It doesn't stay in that state. So the good thing about structured water is it brings life to the water. It gives it to it makes it to that fourth phase. So there is a company, they have a device that they've tested over, and it's like years in now, and it's still the stuff that they tested a long time ago is still structured. So there is, best ways, I should say, to structure your water. So spring water, I did that for years. Spring water doesn't always come from primary water. Could be mixed in with groundwater. Primary water is the best ever. Get this. So they tell us that here's the earth, right? Look, here's the earth. Okay. That's not the earth. That's the earth. Here's the earth. And we have this cycle of water, right? And it's finite. Lie. Wrong. It's not. You have groundwater. So water goes into the ground, and then it fills up the aquifers, and it's called groundwater and well water. So that's underneath the water. That can be contaminated. That's why it has to be tested and all that. Okay, so under there, deep inside, deep down, it's called juvenile water. The earth actually makes water. And it's a little bit of a mystery at this point, but we know that water is H2O. So where there's hydrogen and oxygen and maybe a few other things, you have water. So people know about this, have been screaming it from the rooftops and been silenced because of that. Because we have a inexhaustible source of water that can be tapped. And think about it. It's the only thing that your body will come in contact with that is pure, that has never seen pollution on our earth, never. So what if you could tap into primary water and drink that? It's been known to raise IQ. So if you can get a spring that's from primary water, or at least has some mixed in it, that's a pretty good source. So some of the spring water can be really high in minerals. Concentration of minerals are just a little bit too high. And so you can have depositing in your body and such. And, you could get kind of become a barnacle after a while, just, gathering all that stuff in your body. So that might not be the best ever. So, but spring water has life to it if it's primary water. And so the way primary water works is it's really deep. So you could never drill that far. You can never drill through that rock. But there's fissures everywhere. Everywhere on the earth, there's fissures. And so they can seismically, I think, also by dowsing, find out where those fissures are. And you can drill right near or right in a fissure and you can get its primary water. Sometimes it might be mixed with some groundwater depending on how it's drilled and such. And so water is super important because, we are made of mostly water. We are by weight. I think it's by weight, 70 some percent, depends on if you're male or female, or by structure, I think it's like 90 something percent water. So let's say you just did distilled water or really good spring water for a week or a month. That's kind of like an oil change for your body, right? You would replace eventually over time the water that's in your body with good, clean water. And that would make a big difference in your health.